Hello everyone, and what is going on? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Welcome back to part 52 in the full walkthrough in the Crew 2. Part 51 turns out to become hill climbing racing to be at Pikes Peak, Colorado for only one street race and a special, along with stage number 6 of the US Speed Tour East Edition is now continue on to be driving to be on the rally raid. We'll follow the open area to go off-road. We'll be arrived here to be at St. Louis, Missouri. For this part of today's video walkthrough segment, we'll have to take on for only one sprint race. We'll have to be going in to be on two. Especially to have Chicago is now located to have one event is going to be having a different theme background as part of summertime in Hollywood. So ever since I have check and complete to be on Motor Road 66 for only one normal difficulty, so it'll have to be on the 8th difficulty later on. American cars in the Midwest will have to be differently to be on the different routes and mostly to have a perfect moment to be as a special to be part in the US Speed Tour East until gonna have to go on to be on stage number 7 by using a touring car discipline. But at the time, because ever since I had check and complete to be at along the Mississippi for only the first part in the street race discipline, after having a warm-up practice we'll have to go rehearsal act. So let's go, and gonna have to be on hard difficulty just to be planned, and gonna have to do a perfect moment out there to have a 50-second to be on the full walkthrough in my journey. But of course it is, because it takes practice. We'll have to go rehearsal by doing a different act, and having my commentary will have to be doing differences to see how different vehicles to be on the same street race class. Gonna have to go and switch vehicle to be recommend. Go for the country. Mark for the US Corvette C2 2.0 edition is now recommend to be at the max per level to be on 280. Gonna have to go and choose a brand. Nope. Gonna have to go with Chrysler rather than might have to be on Chevy instead. Alright, so there you are. 2.0 edition Corvette C2. I'm about to be selected and go recommend to have different edition ever since I have acquired from the live summon. This car is going to be a very good futuristic vehicle. Is now having a very good differences to have a headlight to be shaped to be on a line and having taillights to do the same. So let's get ready to roll and have that very good concept. Road car will have to be driving in to have a different edition. Let's kick it up and go for position number 1 to be in the lead. I'm really glad to have all kinds of different edition has now acquired for every live summon event whenever it comes in to have some new rides and different edition. But not to mention, because all kinds of different vehicle and unique modification is going to be so amazing to be played in the Crew 2. But this one is going to be very good, unique to have a 2.0 edition on the 1963 Chevy Corvette C2 Stingray. But it is going to be quite very good to have a nice orange paint job and different customization that is no longer to be needed. Labeled to be as unique, but it is going to be quite very good to drive. But I mean, this is going to be so very amazing that I'm about to have this part of the full walkthrough as a comeback. We'll have to be step up and gonna have to go continue on to my main path when I last left off. So gonna have to go on to the next checkpoint. Keep on driving, stay clean racing, and this time a different condition is about to go for the evening. So, I guess racing in the Midwest is going to be so fun to enjoy ever since playing in the first installment in the Crew to do some missions. But efficiently to have all kinds of different spec performance is going to have to do all kinds of racing strategy. We'll have to be going over to be on the main route and all kinds of different performance and well efficient. But I mean, you guys might have gonna have to choose American cars when you're gonna have to be racing in the Midwest. It is going to be so fun and going to have to go easy to be on a piece of cake moment to have a maximum per level to be going up onto 280. So now gonna have to take that checkpoint clear. Next turn on the way. Drive cautiously and gonna have to follow the trail to be on the most main road to be in Mississippi. So now arrive in the Kansas summer flower fields. Good recovery. Now going up in 70% in the progression. Here we are, folks. Now arriving in the Dakota grassland. Six seconds behind the gap. Looks like entering to be passed by at the nuclear power plant. Marked to be as a landmark to be right over here to be on the far left, so that one might be a very good power plant to be labeled as a landmark in the game. Okay, gonna have to keep much more careful. This 2.0 Corvette is a very good retro concept car, might be quite giving a good different look to be on the tail light and headlights to be on the shape of the line. Final stretch is on the way. Gonna take it and go for position number 1 to be in the win. In about 3 minutes, 33.319 seconds is now cleared to be on the hard difficulty yet. But it is going to be very easy, but you guys might really need to have some upgradable parts to be going for a legendary moment. 1 legendary and 3 rare part is now fitted to be on the stock. Good thing right on time to be arrived in Dakota grassland ever since I have finished from the jet sprint event. Gonna have to go over to be on the world map. Yep, looks like that takes over 3 minutes to be having one part of the sprint race event to be using with the street race discipline. Good thing having a pass by to be at Dakota Storm X event and grassland for having a jet sprint event is going to be quite very check and complete. So I really guess that having a one-way ticket to go over to be at Chicago to be in the Midwest. Electric City will be going in for having a temporary vehicle to be on loan. But this cover is also to be part as summertime in Hollywood from the previous updates. But temporary vehicle will have to go for the motorcycle was the Kawasaki Ninja H2 is going to be so retrospective to be driving in to be in the downtown streets. So it's entered and get set to have a Light Rider edition, and that one might have a very good, excellent different motorcycle to be having a very good base reference from Tron. I really hope this is going to be so remarkable to have motorcycle. We'll have to find a perfect line.
3, 2,
Time of condition and take place to be on nighttime, so let's see how it goes. Let's do this and drive on the streets. This Light Rider edition of the Kawasaki Ninja H2 is so very good to be driving on the streets, and the wheel itself is now having a very good blue effect to be driving in to be having a nighttime to go retrospective. But the handling is definitely might going well decent to do some proper braking position. Just like the original Kawasaki Ninja H2 is going to be a very good Japanese motorcycle to have a very brilliant performance. So gonna have to kick it up and go nitro to be at the retrospective to take the jump. Alright, very good style. Let's see how this Light Rider motorcycle will have to do some stunts and more skills will have to be driving in to be on the asphalt. 10 seconds on the way. Gonna have to keep it up and gonna have to stay on to do some braking. But take a good look at this interior view for driving the H2 Kawasaki. That might have a differences just like the original that we might have a comparison. Different modification and trim to be colored in blue neon is actually to have a good 1980s style to be having a very good part for only one event to take the set. Gonna have to take that next turn on the right, pass by, and go for the brake. Checkpoint clear, and gonna have to keep a good angle alignment. Will have to be well handled to have some proper precision to see how the lineup will have to do one skill at a time. Checkpoint complete. Now going straight. Halfway there and 50% in the main progression. Oh boy, looks like there goes the object. I really might need to be very more careful after this. But mostly because this part of the event that might have to be featured to be on a different theme condition on one of the previous live summons since we have participate. For example, Valentine's Day theme summon gives a very good harp-shaped moment to have this most fine theme condition to become very different ever since to be racing in Chicago. But mostly to have one Alpha Grand Prix racer takes on to have the same location as well. But it was alright because all kinds of different discipline to be on a land-based vehicle might have a very good ways to try it out, and having a free time moment to do some photo op souvenirs will have to be well in case. Alright, gonna have to keep going and gonna have to take that straightaway to be on the next turn. Here comes the left turn by the direction. 3 minutes, 44 seconds since the start of the race. We'll have to take a very good light city moment. Ooh, so very close. Good thing having a brake position just to be in case. Now gonna have to go for the full stretch. One more turn to go. And gonna have to make that stopping position until the finish line is just right up ahead. So I'm about to do a stoppie right after for having a very good achievable finish. And here it comes. Ooh. Perfect stunt performance. Close call, and what a relief. Yeah, that's how doing that most insane stoppie is going to have to find a good proper lean position to be exactly around in 75%. But efficiently, because having a perfect stoppie when driving on motorcycle is going to be much more fun to enjoy. So let's have a good check to be on the map. But the loop, Millennium Park, New East Side, Magnificent Mile, Street Refill, River North, Near North, and that might have the other part in Fulton River District, along with the West Loop is now having a finish line. So it looks to me because 1980s street race might have something else to do some retrospective moments, but it was a lot of fun to drive with one Kawasaki Ninja H2 Light Rider Edition that will have to do some exact references from the movie Tron. So let's get back and gonna have to head over to be at St. Louis again for another street race event to be at American Cars in the Midwest. So let's go in there to be on the same spot. Time for me to go for a different vehicle selection. This time I'm about to go to have Dodge vehicle for today's attempt. Best time and muscle car sedan will have to give a good excellent modification to be using with a Dodge Charger SRT-A 2012 with a UDRS Insportec livery. Will have a most finest powerful engine yet to be well attached to have a customization and get to be chilled. Ever since I have tested out to be at Los Angeles to be in the sleeper event. Looks to me because it's all set, and putting up to have a dub logo to be on the side and the rear itself to be quite very good to be much exact differences to all the other dub cars.
2,
So here I go.
1.
Let's get it on and race with the American cars we'll have to take on to be in the top 3 position at the finish line. So one car at a time, moving upward to be on the intersection. There you go, checkpoint clear, gonna have to keep up to stay in the maintain formation. So we've been there before, you guys, during the lap summit. So you'll have to do much more fine competent and gonna have to go clean racing as we go on to have the next turn on the way right here. There you go, sharp turn and gonna have to keep a little bit more careful. After taking the next checkpoint, we'll have to go for the street. Let's kick up the nitro and gonna have to drive cautiously when we're racing in the streets. Here we are at the Bluegrass region to have this most magnificent view out there to be in the Midwest. This theme condition is going to be set up to be in the foggy area, so we have to be very more careful because if we might need headlights, that we might have to give the signal to be flash in, and the tail lights will have to keep a good monitor check to be in the motion sensor. There goes the checkpoint clear. Gonna have to keep it up, keep driving, and some of them that might have skipping part for only 2 or 3 seconds due to the interruption. But you guys might have already seen it or not, but I'll have to keep an eye out to have some surveillance during the part of the exporting progress. Correct amount note for having a checkpoint clear. Halfway there and 50% in the main progression. This is going to be so beautiful to enjoy the street race to be in the Midwest. But we're still going out there to be at the Bluegrass region. But it'll have to make sure to come out to be on the next district and different area to be around here to be on to the having a most finest view out there to have a good view check to be on the river. Sorry about that. Having some handling difficulty to be much more careful due to the fog condition. Here we are. New Harlan has arrived. Almost to be at 80%. Now coming out and get back on the road. Perfect advantage after having some few minutes to be driving on the streets is going to be very tough to handle. But modestly, in the meantime, but it'll have to do more careful because of the objects are in the way. But the road is going to have to do perfectly to have a quick advantage for only one street race discipline. But the finish line is just right up ahead. Made it on time. 3 minutes 36.004 seconds is now checked incomplete for having one normal difficulty to have one event in the sprint course. Collecting with some blue parts, 3 comments, and 1 epic. Alright. Very good job to be splendid, and perfect time to be stopped at New Harlan after having one sprint race to be complete. I really bet this is going to be having some most Midwest street race event out there to be explored around between St. Louis, Mississippi, Indianapolis, and mostly to have Ohio to be part in America. Mostly to have different regions to be highlighted to be well checked up to see it. But it turns out to have some different view map to be around in America. So let's just gonna have to give a good check to be on the filters. So Midwest Golden Trail has already finished. Cornfield hunt is now completed. That means one event is going to have to go forward to take on for having a very good, excellent exploration to be placed around here to be in the Midwest. Time for me to go on to be at Detroit in stage number 7 in the US Speed Tour East by using a touring car discipline. St. Louis to Detroit, Michigan. Here I go, and that will might have an excellent route. We'll have to do perfectly to choose any best racing car category to take on for doing another round in a time attack. But hold on one simple second, because not yet to be required, because having one minor step, we'll have to do another part to be in the special. Just in case, and participate for having Mississippi to be in the special. I almost forgot about it to have one event will be needed until I'm about to take on in stage number 7. Plan and requirement is what I need to do. But promise me, because I'll have to participate to be on stage number 7 after Mississippi is going to be doing a special complete. Alright, now gonna have to go for choosing a different street race discipline to go by selection. Gonna have to choose something else differently besides Chevy or Dodge. However, 4 cars might have very good to be well decent to go further. We'll have to go for only a one-way ticket to be at Detroit. So yeah, I might have to go with 4 instead. Very good to choose any kinds of classic and modern vehicle. Will have to go further in. So what else should I have to pick? One muscle car vehicle or American based vehicle? The Ford GT 2005 might be quite very good to be selected, but not to mention because this livery is a very good, excellent to be titled to be known as the LM Spec 2 edition from Gran Turismo 4 and Gran Turismo 7. But I might have to give it a go, and that one might have a special we'll have to take on for only one race to be at Mississippi. But the title that we might have to keep in touch, so this part of the variation is going to be a very good, proud Gran Turismo moment. So let's do it and take on for having one time attack. We'll have to be doing the same location in daytime.
US Speed Tour East, St. Louis, Missouri. Zipping around Mound City, the gateway to the West.
After taking the Mississippi Sprint Race event by having some opponents around, but now the opponent is going to have to be much more fine competent. After this, people are going to have to take on for doing one time attack to see how the same place and different condition. But mostly to have the wet surface is now being come around to have this most beautiful daytime moment. So we know the strategy, so gonna have to drive carefully and watch out for any mistakes. There goes St. Louis, Missouri. Time to say farewell. Time to hit the streets and drive carefully by passing the main part of the checkpoint. 25% in the progression to go up in about 27%. I'm so very good to drive this Ford GT to have this different livery made by other players who is actually to be as a Gran Turismo fan. But I really do love Gran Turismo because it is a very good, excellent sim racing game to be on a track. Mostly GT Sport and GT7 is going to be my best part to be played on the PlayStation 4. There goes the checkpoint clear. Now gonna have to stay on track. By the way, folks, I still really enjoy playing the first Gran Turismo game ever since back in 1998. But I really do remember playing on the PlayStation 3 console until I already got the PS4 Pro. Much more brilliant. Also to be included to have a recording stream progress that might have to do some attempts and segments that I might have to go creative. But especially Gran Turismo 2 that might have some more cars is going to be much excellent to see how different European brands to be adding up and more American manufacturer brands such as Ford to be debuted to be in GT2. Just like the Ford GT40 and the 2005 model itself is going to be a very good popular moment to be debuted to be on Gran Turismo 4. As a 2005 model, this car is going to be very excellent to have some different modification and also to be referred to be as different variation, just like the Emblem Spec 2 Race Car Edition is the symbol of the icon that is also to be drive in to be at Le Mans. So now the halfway is going to be well past to be moved on in 78%, going up in 80%. Here comes the mid-air jump, steeper and steady check. Yeah, looks like it's doing well and drop it in to be on the open road. Perfect respawn.
Coming up to the arrival line soon now, which driver will master the record?
And here it is. Made it on time and cleared to be record to have 3 minutes 43.75 seconds is now cleared for only one attempt. Good job for the Ford GT road car to be titled as Emblem Spec 2 race car. Very good job, and to have one street race to be driving in to be in the Crew 2. So, as you can see folks, as a man of my word, stage number 7, here I go, and gonna have to get right back in to do the same part ever since I'm about to go and grab my Corvette C6R again. One reminder and one event just to be in case to have one special is what I need to forget. But a promise is a promise. We'll have to do a very one racing moment to see how one touring car will have to take the starting position to go out from St. Louis and head over to be at Michigan. So here I go.
Will the competitors do good in U.S. Speed Tour East Stage number 7? Driving from St. Louis, Missouri to Detroit, Michigan. Will the competitors do good in U.S. Speed Tour East Stage number 7? Driving from St. Louis, Missouri to Detroit, Michigan.
So the route is going to have to continue on to do on stage number 7 until we're about to get closer on to stage number 8. The racing road trip, off I go. Now straightaway is going to have to do a wide open to take the freeway, but it'll have to take a long distance to be driving around to be in the Midwest when taking part to be on the Motor Road 66, and here it is. Looks like all we can see is Chicago. Gonna have to keep a good watchful eye on the view. Kick it up the nitro, pass through, and gonna have to go enter to be on the town in Greenup. Now going back to be on the Motor Road 66 after leaving Greenup. Next turn, we'll go for the right. There we go. Looks like arriving in Ohio to be on the Riverside Giants. Mostly to be titled to be known as Ohio Roadside Giants to have a most beautiful place out there to be in the Midwest in America. Mostly to have different towns and location when you're driving in the Midwest by playing in the Crew 2. But there might be some several homes and different routes, and mostly to have some wide open areas when you're driving in the rally raid car. Just to be well enjoyed, and first area location ever since at the very beginning in the first installment in the Crew. Gonna have to keep it up and gonna have to keep it go. crossing the rail, up the road. Checkpoint clear. Well folks, looks like we just really saw a good view out there in Chicago, but one-way ticket to go over to be at Detroit, the neighboring city and different state to be on to the Midwest. Now, gonna have to be arrive in Lower Peninsula. Checkpoint clear. Keep going forward. Next turn to be on the consecutive route. There you go. Gonna have to slow down. 50 marker board to be on the right turn in coming in. Halfway there is being passed by, folks. This time attack will give it all. Now arriving in Monroe. Pass by and gonna have to get back to be at Lower Peninsula. There goes the bridge. Gonna take it and kick the nitro to go straight away. So how am I doing? Almost there to be at Detroit, so here I have to go expand onto the mini map. Welcome to Detroit, you guys. The Motorcity is about to be entered in for having the next part in part 53. So great to see how Chevy is going to have the perfect home to be here onto the Motorcity. But in about 10% to go remaining, because it'll have to take a long way trip to go for the quarter mile, more like having a full distance to be on a drag race. This part over here, that should be going quick and easy to have some Avenue Road. Now gonna have to go on to be at the Bigs.
Coming up to Detroit, famous for IndyCar and street races. Who will become master of Motown Records?
And that's, ladies and gentlemen, 4 minutes, 37.233 seconds for Team UTRS in Sportec, and the Chevy Corvette C6R 2005 has now arrived at Detroit. Almost there to be at Icon 1560 is going to have to get closer to have some more boosted up to be on percentage on followers. But I'm sure it does, because almost there to get closer to have to do some quick farming work to do some more buck earnings until the next live summit event, and the update is about to be coming soon in season 7 in episode 1. I can't wait to see how Into the Storm is going to be look like, you guys. It's about to be facing up and driving in to have a storm themed condition for having a different Motorflix theme update. So I really bet it does, because currently to be at 1,153,626 bucks is going to have to get closer to go up to go back in to be at 1.5 or 2 million. In about next event to have 2 Hovercraft events to be at Lake Michigan, and by having a nighttime to go in to be at the same title name. Mostly to have different events to be well checked and already complete. But especially Motorflix the game, however, because round 6 and round 2 has already marked to be checked. So I really bet it does, because I have already finished all kinds of different events all around in Detroit. But in the meantime, because stage number 8 is about to get drawn closer to be in the final round, and a special to go back to be at New York for a Harlem to be in the special. Time to wrap this up, you guys. Almost done to be at the US Speed Tour East edition before moving on into the West to be starting out to be on a different location around in the Midwest. So I hope you enjoy watching the video in the Crew 2, folks. Thank you for watching. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. Don't forget to check it out on any social media platforms by the description, like Deviant Art, Instagram, Twitter, Twitter, GT Planet, and more to see for my own image artwork like UTRS livery, Total Drama fan art with card liveries, and more whenever you're welcome at any time. I'll be seeing you guys next time for continue on in part 53 in the Crew 2, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.